Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jordan here with another Warhammer Total War live battlecast. So in this game, I think I'm going to play the vampire counts, guys. I think Uncle Vlad needs to see some action and, hopefully do pretty well for me. So I'm going to get Vlad here. I'm going to get 2 White Kings. I really like these guys. Very, very cost-effective unit, and the fact that they can carry potions is definitely a good investment. So against Empire, it looks like, yeah, he's playing Empire, so I like to get a front line of Skeleton Warriors. Just 3 is fine. They're shielded and, have decent combat stats compared to zombies. And they also have 31 move speed. So when you consider, closing the distance, it's much better than the zombie alternative there. So let's also get a Mortis engine. I know it's a very juicy target for like Hammer of the Witches, cannons, all that kind of stuff. But if you can keep it alive, it is a very, very strong unit. So I'm going to do that. And rather than playing the cavalry game, I'm actually going to do something a little different, guys. So I'm going to get some Graveguard here, get the Sternsman. So this is kind of my infantry core. And then also against Empire, I'm not the biggest fan of Cryptors because most Empire infantry, spearmen, halberdiers that they like to bring against vampire counts have anti-large. So I actually prefer to get the Graveguards with great weapons. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm not going to get any cavalry. And to deal with his Demograph Knights, I'm just going to get fodder units. I'm just going to get some skeleton spearmen, which I will keep in the back of my army and use to harass. Let's also get a group of Fellbats. And let's see here, guys. What else do we want? I would like to get like a group of Vargeist, but I think we're okay. Vargeist are very, very good at like tearing up enemy missile units, those type of things. So maybe, do I want to cut something? What would I have to cut? Oh, and this guy actually doesn't even have a mount, so I do need to cut something for sure. So let's go ahead and cut a group of, let's cut him. We'll get you your mount, get you the potion. Then we'll get our second one. And I do need to cut a unit. So we'll cut one group of skeletons. Skeletons are also expendable in this screen, so we'll get rid of them there. And so everyone's pretty happily geared up, I would say. I can almost afford a group of zombies, but you know what? I'm just gonna pump some chevrons into my Graveguards here. And oh, that's what I was totally forgetting, guys. Man, I actually have a lot more money at my disposal here. So get rid of those, and we'll just get rid of these chevrons. That allows me to get, a whole nother unit essentially. So I could get another group of Fellbats, which wouldn't be a terrible choice. They're pretty good at diving and shutting down troops, but to be honest, I might just get another group of skeleton spearmen here, and then, and then we can just pump the chevrons, I guess. So basically just doing what I had planned to do. All right, let's get started. Definitely a fun game. Sternsmen are very strong. I have answers for most things, I think, and when he does, more than likely he will invest in Demograph Knights. So, in this particular build, it's pretty effective because they'll have these anti-large Demograph Knights ready to just go, take on your Blood Knights with a, Empire Captain and all those type of units. And then you just simply don't have any cavalry and, he has to deal with skeleton spearmen. So it's definitely, it doesn't always work, guys, but it's just something I've been playing with, and I actually like it a lot. It's kind of like a Death Star variant, but, not as cheesy as the traditional Death Star. So we'll put these guys here, and we'll probably just put the Sternsmen back there as well. Man, the Sternsmen are such a good unit. Just so strong. Vlad is just a straight up gangster. He's so freaking hard to kill, guys. Alright, so then this is going to be our main formation here. We'll put the Mortis engine there in the front to make sure it gets a nice spread for your army. And the White King number 1 goes here, and number 2 can go there in the wings. So I can peel him out, chase things. And if he doesn't have cap for some reason, I can use them to go flank and, pressure his missile units. So we'll get these spearmen here. So I keep them in the wings in the back. So wherever his cav come around, I can just kind of line these guys up. So as long as my micro is good today, guys, we'll see. So we'll get some Fellbats too. I think they're ready to party. And I think that's it. Very straightforward in terms of your formation. Master Beguilement, again, is so good against Demograph Knights and things like that. It's so good against like elite type infantry units. Even against a group of greatswords, if that's all you can reach, very, very good investment. So I got the White King here. Make sure they both brought their potions. I often forget that, which is very depressing when it's like a close battle and you don't have that potion. So we'll see how it goes. So yeah, most Empire players, what will they bring? They'll bring a fair amount of greatswords. Halberdiers are a pretty decent choice against vampire accounts because Cryptors are so popular. They're fast, they do tons of damage, they're mobile, but again, the Halberdiers are decent. Spearmen are even good against them because you don't need the armor piercing of the Halberdiers to deal with Cryptors. But what's nice is that Halberdiers serve like a dual purpose in that they can, do decently well against Graveguard. They do have the ability to pierce the high armor of these guys, which is 90. Do the Sternsmen actually have more? No, it looks like they have the same armor. So the Sternsmen have higher leadership, so they won't crumble as quickly. Better melee attack as well as 11 more melee defense, which is actually quite substantial. And I was not paying attention, and it looks like the battle started. So he brought some Outriders, which is always a good time for the Vampire Counts. We're going to go ahead and advance our army. What is that, the Templehof over there? Man, he's just going full-on ridiculous here, guys. So don't know what to expect, so we'll just send the White King. I believe these guys are faster than the White King. The White King has, yeah, 73 speed, but if he lets those bats get him, it's gonna be pretty good for me. So he's kind of tied up here, and now that this guy's gonna get in position here, where's the rest of his army? Is he like hiding in the? Oh, he's probably over this hill right here. So the bats did a pretty good job. So I'm actually just gonna kind of posture them up, and I have that tree protecting me from the Templehof. So that's really nice, guys. So I'm gonna just send this guy here and kind of cycle these bats up and around. And I don't mind the White King getting focused at all. If that's distracting his force from my main force while I advance, I'm completely fine with that. So the White King, I just got to remember to keep pathing him best I can. And I'll just use the bats to chase off those Outriders. Outriders, I believe, have armor piercing. So let's path out of the way of those nets. Let's see if I can get away from that. Because it looks like he was trying to net me down there. So I think I'm far enough away that it won't get me. So let's actually hold our army for a sec. It looks like that's casting. Oh, and he actually hit his own Empire Captain with the Templehof. Oh, that's too much, guys. That's so awesome. All right, let's keep going. Hey, if he's going to do that again, I'm totally fine with it. And look how cost-effective those bats are, guys. And we'll go ahead and use this potion here. Might as well. And he used his potion as well. All right, so far, it's a good start. Those 350 gold bats are just absolutely decimating these Outriders here who have 8 leadership now. So I'm pretty happy about that. And looks like the Demogryph Knights are coming in hot. Yeah, and they're the ones with halberds, so they do have that anti-large. And let's go ahead and split this one off here. We can put him in group. Let's just put him in group 3. Should be fine. And I gotta find this guy's army. I'm not sure where it is, guys. Oh, look at that. That's so funny. Just investing all that to deal with the fell bats. So I just gotta keep chasing the Templehof. Not sure what's going on here. You know, but it is what it is. We'll get to the bottom of this strange game. And it looks like there's a Feral Manticore back there. And those bats, guys, they broke those Outriders. And the Templehof, you can only run so long. Oh no, I got a strafe VLAD. So when it's charging up, you kind of want to get your powerful units and strafe them. That actually was not that bad. So I'm moderately happy about that. And how fast is Templehof? Oh, it actually has 50 speed. And there's his main force. All right, guys. So the plot thickens for sure. And the fell bats have done a good job chasing off those Outriders. So I'm gonna keep chasing them off. I might be able to get them off the battlefield actually. So we're just going to advance down here towards my opponent's army. Yeah, that frickin' Templehof is so annoying. So maybe if I send like 2 White Kings after it. But again, the Demogryph Knights will do pretty good, so it's kind of stressing me out a little bit. But thankfully the passive healing of that, the Mortis engine, it's healing itself pretty well. Oh, let's strafe it. And it looks like he missed. And you know what? It's some Skeleton Spearmen, which is fine. So again, in investing in all this kind of weird shenanigans, his main army is not going to be that strong, guys. It looks like he's netting me down here. I'm going to continue to advance because it looks like it wasn't a big net and most of my army is still mobile. So if it is like enough of your army that, you know, they're going to be threatened by being alone, you usually want to be really careful with that. So let's go ahead and charge him in there. Just kind of see if I can. Oh man, he's definitely going to make good contact here, guys. Come on, Vlad. I always cringe every time that frickin' thing shoots. I've had it one-shot Helm Gorst enough to know how that works. Let's peel these Skeleton Spearmen out. Let's see if I can bait him in here. Oh, that would be so good. And it looks like he peels off at the last second. So I'm actually going to put these skeletons kind of on duty there and let them march together. Go after this guy. But again, it's so much faster that the Templehof, it can't run from the White King. So if I can keep the skeletons near him, maybe peel off Vlad, because Vlad actually has 40 run speed. And then if these Demogryph Knights come in, you know, get a good engage, I can use Master of Bagamut. So let's go ahead and do that. Keep the main force going. They're all marching up, doing their thing. Let's pull him back around, and let's get him here. Get Vlad over here, and yeah, unfortunately his goon squad's coming back, so I have to be really, really careful, you guys. So let's go ahead and engage here. We'll use Master Bagamut here, so they won't be able to do much against me. And hopefully I can actually get like a kill or two. That would be really nice. So I could summon zombies on top of them. Let's go ahead and do that. I think that might be a decent investment. And zombie summon. All right. So now they're going to kind of be trapped a little bit, hopefully. I don't know if that was a good investment. It seems like they can just move through them. So then I'm going to summon both White Kings over here and just continue to advance my main force. So the White King, I'm going to put him in group 3 also. And yeah, so this goon squad here is doing pretty good. You can see they're getting some decent HP damage against the Demogryph Knights. He's continuing to net my main army, which is tough. So I'll put Vlad in group 3 too and keep these guys moving up here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Kind of a segmented skirmish. And, you know, the Demogryph Knights are actually taking some moderate losses here. Go ahead and use these buffs here. don't know if we want to use an Invocation of Heck, because it's mainly just Skeleton Spearmen. So let's go ahead and get him on the General of the Empire. And when that Summon Skeleton ability comes up again, you know, maybe I will use it, because it will get White Kings. But again, they're just zombies. So keep moving up my main force. Got to make sure to stay on top of that. And yeah, maybe I should peel off like a group of these guys over here, just because it looks like this battle is actually happening here. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and just engage here and engage there. Just get these forces moving, get these guys up here. And yeah, that should be okay, guys. We're still fighting. Vlad is, again, a very resilient combatant. Let's summon another group of zombies here. I feel like that's going to make a big difference. And Vlad is so hard to freaking kill. And once these Graveguard get here, you can see this other group of zombies has trapped those Demogryph Knights. Unfortunately for me, he did do a pretty good job of like segmenting my main army with nets. But it's okay. Most of my army's engaged, and he has a very weak army over there. So use this Potion of Toughness, and you can see, guys, it actually was like a pretty dominant performance here. So I'm going to just keep pressuring those Demogryph Knights as best as I can. And it looks like I have an Empire Captain there who's wavering as well. So very, very good situation for me. And let's keep those guys moving up. Fortunately, that darn Templehof is just trolling me, guys. Just all freaking game. Yeah, the Demogryph Knights are completely enraptured here. I wouldn't say enraptured, but enveloped is the right term. Demogryph Knights are trapped. They can't get out of the zombies. And that's why I think Raised Dead is usually a very good investment, guys. It's very hard to deal with that. Keep that Mortis Engine on the move. Let's go ahead back here, make sure everything's kosher. And I'm not worried about these Outriders at all. Demogryph Knights are broken. Oh man, did I just path my whole army over there? I do that sometimes. It's kind of an annoying thing. All right, let's get them re-engaged here. We'll get these guys engaged here and get Vlad and the boys. We'll start moving them that way, guys. So I think we're feeling good. The White King, and you know, I can keep the zombies kind of marching after these guys because you know they're not going to make it that far. But regardless, Vlad and the White Kings did really good. All right, so let's go check on the main battle. The Mortis Engine is in bad shape, but regardless, it's already done a fair amount of draining on my opponent. So we'll get these guys a fairly even spread here. Yeah, Mortis Engine, I'm surprised it lasted this freaking long. It looks like he is pulling back to the main line, so I'm going to move him here. And Vlad needs to be with the main forces. And look at those Demogryph Knights. Oh man, that was some mean damage from the Templehof. You know, I've actually been really wanting to do a thumbnail for my channel that's just like the Temple David Hasselhoff and just like put his head on top of it or something. So the White King is finally pressuring it, and you can see that General of the Empire struggles a little bit with his dive bomb there, which is okay. As long as I'm kind of keeping, look at that entire like kind of regiment there that he has of very top tier guys is just so heavily focused on that. So yeah, I could probably use a Invocation of Heck over here. I have a lot of low troops, and I think that'll be a good investment. So right now, we want to get Vlad in like the core of the fight, but man, my opponent doing a very good job netting me down. You can see these zombies are still just chasing off those Outriders, so that's a good situation for me. And this White King is just getting freaking punished over here, so definitely should have tried to get him out of there. Let's see if maybe he can cheese out this Amber Wizard before he dies. We'll find out. Got to remember to use his buffs here, give him some decent combat stats. We'll continue to push in. And yeah, it looks like his Amber Wizard actually broke, though, in that main fight. And the nets are now up, so we'll go ahead and move them in. And what spells do I have available with Vlad? So I do have the Gaze of Nagash, which is decent. I prefer to save my Winds of Magic, but, you know, again, if need be, I can use it. Get these skeletons, we'll get Vlad. And I probably want to use Master Beguilement on his... probably on his General of the Empire here. I feel like that's not a bad choice because he's really, you know, going in hard with that. We'll use an upgraded Invocation of Heck, which will hit 2 groups of Graveguard. So that's a good choice. And I still have this very healthy group here, which is going to be tough for my opponent. So we'll get Uncle Vlad in there. I know he's not the uncle, guys. I just like to call him that because I don't know. It just has a magical ring to it. Looks like the zombies trying to catch Outriders. That's got to be like the most miserable thing. Thankfully, they can't perceive that. All right, so let's get these guys in here. Man, how's Vlad doing? Man, those Demogryph Knights are broken, guys. So we'll go ahead and get on that General of the Empire, and it looks like everything's finally getting there. He had a very harass-heavy army composition, so it definitely took some time to get in here, but you can see Vlad with that. He also has that leadership aura, guys, which is quite strong. So he's using the nets, but the Graveguard and the Stearnsman, he invested so much in the Templehof and, you know, all that harass, and it didn't really pay off for him. Looks like the Templehof came into melee here, and most of his troops are shaken. So we'll go ahead and just continue to push through. When troops start to rout, you want to make sure to send guys after them. What does he have here? It looks like he actually has some flagellants, so that's why this line isn't breaking as quickly. So we'll go ahead and move these guys up, and now that these guys are all out of their nets, we'll move them up as well. And with Vlad, I do have enough for a... oh man, that guy really charged deep in there. And he did use his potion, it looks like. Yeah, so he's going to be healing quite a bit, but I might use a Gaze of Nagash here if I can actually get back up to 9. So, okay, so let's move that force up. I still have these 2 very healthy groups, and the Sternsman guys are just absolute raid bosses. So right here, we're getting these guys. Let's pull them in here. Let's get these zombies guys. They're crucial in this battle. And move these guys up here. Make sure they're all fighting. Sometimes, like, they'll kind of mash on top of each other and not engage, so it's very important to, like, check and make sure everything is going to code. And yeah, that General of the Empire, his potion is exhausted. He's broken, so that is really good for me. Just goes to show, guys, Vlad is just an absolute monster. So we're going to go ahead and posture up behind the enemy force there, so I can break them quickly with that rear charge hit. And actually, oh, he's charging in there with some spearmen. That's it, guys. Man, that was a lot of harassment to survive, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And, you know, you see, that's what I'm kind of talking about when opponents invest very heavily in, you know, Demogryph Knights, and I guess I wouldn't call that a heavy investment in Demogryph, but, you know, they invest in these Manticores and Amber Wizards and different units that are used to isolate cavalry, and, you know, very effective at that, and you don't have it. It's like they don't have a lot of great targets, but regardless, you know, the Templehof definitely took some good shots, did some good damage. You guys saw it, shut down the Mortis engine, relatively speaking, but was able to kind of detach and segment the various troops, and using the Skeleton Spearmen to tie up those Demogryph Knights and then the zombie summon from Vlad is very, very strong. But again, anyways, very well played to my opponent, Mr. Time Spender. We definitely spent some time in that game. It took a little while, but hopefully you guys don't mind. So again, good game. Hope you guys enjoyed that one, and have an excellent night. Take care.